Thank you so much, sir, for your that speech. These days, the way we teach, most of the time, we teach our students about how to value materialistic things in our classrooms also. So in that case, I find that many of our students, they don't have an ideal figure or mentor to look up to and follow them as ideals. Like you are talking about ethical learning or emotional compassion and similar things. In our classrooms, we hardly have spaces for this. We talk about the whole world, about Mars and everything. My question is, when students don't have anything to look up to, and obviously they are fed with junk information, so how do we create a space within our class so that they feel that within the class also we have compassionate thinking and behavior? Thank you.
There are two ways of dealing with it. One is, as you mentioned, unfortunately, role models are dwindling. Environment is probably not so conducive for students to see those as an example. That I fully agree. But that doesn't mean there's nobody. We simply need to highlight some of these people like His Holiness Dalai Lama or Mother Teresa and so many, Martin Luther King, these are all there. Those are one thing. But the most important thing is, you need to tell them, if you do these bad things, you will suffer. वो बताना है उन्हें. For example, if you fight, if they think fighting is good, let them fight. फिर क्या मिलता है उनको? मुंह में एक मौका मरेगा, नाक से खून आएगा, क्या मिलता है? चोरी करो, पकड़ जाएगा, पुलिस में कैद कर देगा. This is what you should teach. Give the example like poison. Poison खाने दो उनको, फिर तो मर जाएगा. So anger, jealousy, hatred, these are poison. Unfortunately, people don't recognize this as poison. Because of anger, jealousy, hatred, कितना घर बर्बाद हो जा रहा है, कितना देश बर्बाद हो रहा है. So you need to, more important thing is, by doing this you will get this benefit, by doing this you will get this problem. Law of causality, that should be taught. That should be taught. ठीक है ना? With some stories, not only stories but real life examples. For example, somebody engages in drinking, intoxicant drinking. मत करो, drink and drive मत करो. नहीं मानता है. फिर ड्रिंक करते, ड्राइव करते, एक्सीडेंट होकर मार रहा है ना, एग्जाम्पल. So I think it's one thing to get role models. Another thing is role models, teachers, maybe there are some who are very good, take them as examples. ऐसा नहीं कि सब खराब है, ऐसा नहीं है. Maybe you are a role model because of the question you are asking. So वो है, ठीक है ना? Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. It's a pleasure meeting you. And my question was, sir, a lot of people here are literate. We know how to read, we know how to write. But are we truly knowledgeable or learned? Do you think that literacy is knowledge? Or literacy and knowledge are completely different topics according to you? Thank you, sir.
Your question is good. Education is not equal to literacy. Education is not equal to literacy. Literacy means reading, writing, mathematics. That's not education. Education is for human flourishing. Education should be something that balances human thinking, that reduces mental distraction, that thinks about other people's well-being, that thinks about your overall development. That's education. So the real education, not necessarily you can get in universities and schools, is by living the life, living the real life. Then you will get real education. Okay? And education, as I already mentioned, education is really not so much receiving from others, it is exploring your inner capacity and taking it out. That's why great thinkers like Bertrand Russell and Albert Einstein, they said, these days teachers are bringing havoc in the life of the children because they always ask what the children don't know, but they never explore what the child can do. So it's important to understand the capacity of different children and help them grow with that inner capacity. Okay? Yeah. Yes.
Respected sir, my question is, when you create a difference between knowledge and then junk information, how it is that in our day-to-day lives we actually recognize and differentiate what is knowledge and then what is junk information?
Because the whole world is just running after quick information. And people start thinking, people who know a little bit about all the subjects, they think this is a scholar. But those kind of information is of no use at all actually. But you should imbibe those values, those qualities, which will make you a person with integrity, which will make you a person less of duplicity. That's education. So therefore, your question is good because don't just run where everybody is running. Today we have a problem because there is a set of process of education which everybody has to follow. और दूसरा ऑप्शन है भी नहीं है. वो लोग डिसाइड करेगा, सर्टिफिकेट वो लोग देगा, आपको वहाँ जाना पड़ेगा. Unfortunately, if I tell you how this whole process of education given in the classroom, you will be shocked. ये शुरू एक बार जंग हुआ था, उस वक्त हुआ था. अब बैठो, I'll teach you how to fight with your enemy. वहाँ से शुरू हुआ था. पुराने ज़माने में जैसे कि the Buddha or many great Indian thinkers, they just had Gurukul. Gurukul is like Guru's family. Right? It's not just giving information. If it's just giving information, then you don't need these teachers. Especially today, you don't need this information. In ancient times, maybe. Today, you don't need teachers to get information. You can just open your mobile phone or television. You get all information there. So this clearly shows information is not enough. We need living examples. Somebody who can teach things based on one's own life's experiences, life's challenges, and who can teach how to face these ups and downs in life. That's real education. So therefore, don't run away from challenges. Challenges are your real teachers. Misfortunes are your real teachers. They'll teach you much more than what you learn from the classroom. Okay?
Okay, sir. I want to ask you a question. If it's controversial, please forgive me. But as someone who has worked with the Holy Dalai Lama, I want you to tell me how does one cope with the feeling of away from home? Because as we know, the Holiness Dalai Lama is a refugee from the Great Tibet, but when he fled to India, how does he manage to make India his new home? How does he feel comfortable? How does it make himself become a part, like in a sense, like to make yourself belong in a country where you were not before?
Very good question. Number one, I will strongly advise you to read his book, My Land and My People. Have you read his book, My Land and My People? Read it. Also read his book, Freedom in Exile. Read those books. But just to give you a short answer to your question, His Holiness the Dalai Lama is somebody who always prays in the spirit of Buddhist teaching, who always prays for the well-being of all sentient beings, not just human beings, all sentient beings. So for him, wherever he goes, whichever place, whichever land, it is his home. It is his home. So this is on a bigger level, not probably difficult to apply to everybody, but because हम लोग तो शुरू से बोलता है ये हमारा घर नहीं है, वही हमारे मन में है ना, मैं दूसरे के देश में बैठा है, division you know, His Holiness doesn't know this division, ये भी हमारा घर है. All Indians are my brothers, sisters. All those people from other countries also my brothers. That's why His Holiness always says, I don't need any introduction. Because I know you are another human being like me, breathing, wanting happiness, not wanting. Itna kafi hai mere liye. Bad things happen even from your relatives. Good things happen even from your enemies. So on a higher scale, this is so much dependent on how much love you have for other people. The problem with us is, unfortunately, we may have some limited love to our family members, but we don't have this love for everybody. We don't have this love for everybody because we don't understand the sufferings and problems of everybody. If you have this one understanding that all these people, as I mentioned about 8 billion population, if you have this understanding, Bechara, all these people are going to die. Bechara, all these people, whether I know it or not, I am 100% sure they have this problem, that problem. अब यहाँ प्रॉब्लम सब यहाँ आके प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं बोलेगा ना, नहीं बोलने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि उनके पास नहीं है, सबके पास कुछ ना कुछ दिक्कत है, प्रॉब्लम है. Just by thinking that you will feel sorry, I should be nice because I know one or the other problems they have. And I also don't know when they are going to die, I should be nice. You see? Where is the... So the discrimination comes because of narrow-mindedness. That's why I encourage you not to talk too much, not to get obsessed with oneself alone. Right? People who have big mind, they don't discriminate. Which country, men, women, black, white. What's the difference? All want happiness, don't want suffering. Everybody is born, everybody will die. Punjabi में हम लोग बोलते हैं ना की फर्क पड़ता है. Really? So if you have this genuine love towards everybody looks beautiful. Everybody looks handsome. Beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. It's not just the facial, thing. When you have this, I have seen mothers, forgive me to say this, I have mothers who may have, from ordinary parlance, who may have a son who has a lopsided head, not so handsome. But the mother sees this child beautiful and handsome. She does not judge her child because of the physical appearances. Beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. So when you have this love and affection and understanding of the reality of everybody, with everybody you feel happy. That's the thing. But of course, this is not easy. You need to do some study, some training. You will gradually have some kind of sense of understanding. Okay.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. And I really like your lecture, and I agree to most of the part with what you said. And when you talk about the Four Noble Truths and everything is temporary in this world, I agree to it. But then there's a part in your lecture which you said that even death is included in it. That is something that I don't understand. Can you
I can't hear properly.
You said in your lecture when you talk about Four Noble Truths, and when you talk about Four Noble Truths.
Four Noble Truths, okay.
Yes, and you even mentioned that everything is temporary in this world, which even include death. That is something that I don't understand.
Everything what?
Everything is temporary, including death.
Everything is temporary.
Everything is
Temporary.
Temporary, okay.
Including death.
Yes.
That is something that I don't understand. I do agree that everything is temporary, but then when it comes to the concept of death, that is something I do not understand. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Everything is temporary. I did not use the word temporary. I used the word everything is transient. Everything is changing. Everything is impermanent. So death is also impermanent. Death will also change, right? That's why in Buddhist spiritual practice there is a process of practice where you can reach immortality, where there is no death. That's also possible. That means it can change.
So is that temporary or permanent according to the Buddhist teachings?
So let me define this. Anything that is dependent on cause and condition is called impermanent. So you should figure out which one is impermanent, which one is not impermanent. Anything that is dependent on cause and condition is impermanent. Death is dependent on cause and condition. Therefore, death is impermanent.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. उधर पीछे छोटा सा हाथ खड़ा कर रहा होगा.
Sir, we are truly enlightened by your speech on Buddhism teaching and the teachings of Buddha. I just wanted to ask, because we teach philosophy and we also teach Buddha philosophy, his teachings. So, as Buddha's teaching says that everything is impermanent in this world, Shanikavada. So, but we as human beings, we also have to live with the materialistic life. So he also speaks of the Madhyama Pratipat, which is the middle path. So is it that by performing this middle path or the Madhyama Pratipat, can we balance our spiritual life and the materialistic life?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why His Holiness the Dalai Lama says 50-50. 50% for this life, 50% for next life. Which means 50% material need, food, clothing you need, without which you can't survive. But 50% spiritual practice, meditation, thinking. Both must go together. The simple example is, as a human being, you have a body and a mind. Material accumulation is primarily good only for the body, not so much for the mind. Right? So much of the suffering that we are encountering today is a clear indication of starvation of human mind. Right? So therefore, just as you feed your body, you also feed your mind with spirituality. 50-50. Right? Okay? Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
My question is, how are we supposed to act ethical in a world where our values conflict with each other? How are we supposed to do the right thing if my beliefs and the people around me, their beliefs also clashes? How are we supposed to define the right thing to do?
Number one, I am today talking about here is secular ethics, universal ethics, which does not conflict. Like for example, killing is bad. Wherever you go, killing is bad. I'm talking about those kind of universal ethics. Okay? Then even if you talk a little bit higher and talk about different religious belief systems, there should not be any problem. Your question is wonderful. I'll ask you a question in return. Which religion is best? Which religion is best?
Sir, personally from my side, I believe that humanity is the most right religion.
You're very clever. You came back on the secular ethics. So we have many religious traditions, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity and so forth. I'm talking about those different religious denominations. Which one is best? If I ask question, of all these religions, which is best, this is a stupid question. This is like asking which medicine is best. There are so many varieties of medicines. You cannot just pick up one medicine and say this is best medicine because this is pricey or costly. It may be pricey, it may be costly, but so long as this medicine doesn't help cure your physical illness, this medicine is of no use to you. So if you have headache, then the medicine that cures your headache is the best medicine for you. But this does not mean to say this medicine is good for someone else who is suffering from diarrhea. Right? So for me, I can say Buddhism is the best for me, but by this, I cannot say Buddhism is best in general. For some, Christianity is best. For some, Islam is best. For some, Hinduism is best. For some, Sikhism is best. Depending upon person's disposition and interest. So fighting in the name of religion is the worst thing. Because religions are supposed to be a medicine which cures the illness of all humanity. Then, because of your narrow-mindedness, my religion is best, others are wrong. Stupid. This is like family members quarreling over the dinner table. The father wants to eat bread, the mother wants to eat rice, the children wanted to eat some soup. Then the father says, because I like bread, every one of you should eat bread. Stupid. Let them choose whatever they like. So therefore, to sum up, there are philosophical differences among the religious traditions, but the message is same. Universal message of love, compassion, helping each other. This is the message. So message, we should practice the message, not just go after different philosophies. Okay? Because the purpose is same. Okay?
Excuse me, sir, I have another question for you.
Yeah.
Sir, we are talking about the similarities in religion, secularism. Buddhism believes in compassion. Hinduism believes in sarve bhavantu sukhina. Let there be peace for everyone. Christianity believes love thy neighbor as you love thyself.
Yes.
We all believe in love.
Yes.
Yet, sir, we can see in the modern society, and since age immemorial, we are fighting against each other. Families are fighting over religion, sir. So, sir, as youth of India, youth of the current generation, what do you suggest for us to do so that there's no war? A Christian, a Muslim, a Hindu, a Buddhist can sit together and talk about peace.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
So youths should use their brain. The younger generation, if you don't want to be carried away by these divisions of politics and religion, use your brain. Use your brain and don't go after all these divisions. That's why His Holiness and many other thinkers, they are talking about the importance of this social emotional learning which doesn't make these divisions. This is very, very important, right? Animals don't have any religion. Birds don't have any religion, right? And human beings came up with so many things. Sometimes you unnecessarily make your life very complex. So the solution for this is use your common sense, use some of the scientific findings, use your brain and then decide, not just follow blindly. For example, if as a Buddhist, if I say there is afterlife, तुरंत आपके समाज में नहीं आएगा. You will not be able to understand this immediately. You need to study a little bit. If somebody says there is a God, it's difficult for you to understand it immediately. But this doesn't mean these are wrong. So you are not able to understand this for the time being. So forget it for the time. For the time being, you know this other person is also want happiness, do not want suffering. You also want happiness, do not want suffering. So based on this, you treat others. If you read the origin of human life, there was a time when the sky was ruled by birds, not by human beings. Earth was ruled by tigers and lions and bears, not by human beings. Sea was ruled by crocodiles and big fish and so forth. Human beings were not there. Human beings were one kind of other animal, but very weak. Then gradually, human beings become so powerful. Now today, we rule the earth and the sky and the sea. How did it all come about? It all came about through working together, through harmony, by working together, by using intelligence, inventing fire, and then working together, collaboration. Now today, unfortunately, the same human intelligence is being misused to destroy this collaboration. This is the story. So therefore, use this human intelligence to bring harmony. Don't talk about the secondary issues. I give you the example. When we are first born, As a child, the most important thing we wanted was love. Remember that. And practice it in your life. And don't pay so much attention about those things which you are unable to understand right now. Dire maybe. Okay.
Now, this will be the last question and then we'll move to the next section.
Sir, I want to ask another question again, talking about 50-50. Well, how can we balance personal rights with overall freedom?
Personal rights.
Personal rights with...
Rights, okay. Personal rights with overall freedom. In democracy and in politics also, I'm a student of political science also, unfortunately. That's what I studied in Punjabi University, Chandigarh. So, freedom and responsibility are two sides of the same coin. There is no unchecked freedom. As is said in democracy, what touches all must be affected by all. So things are interconnected. So your freedom is there until you hit others. जहाँ तक आप दूसरों को धक्का मुक्की नहीं देता है, you are free. Move your hand. Now your freedom doesn't mean that सबको मारो, है ना? So freedom should be enjoyed within a certain process of concept of liberty. So freedom and obligation, responsibility must go together. Okay?
Now this will be the last. We have
Three small hands, I can see.
raised.
Four
We
small
are running
hands.
out of time, so this will be the last.
Good morning, sir. I have a question whereby, first, as we human beings, we are grown up in family, and with that, we are led by or through the process of socialization, and it can be in our family or friend circle. We are told that, or so to say, in the family itself, we are being said, or if we practice any particular religion and we are being said, our religion is much better than the other religion, and in the family itself, we are being led by that teaching. So how can we tackle with that situation?
This is a very tough question. If you read the works of Krishnamurti ji, or even Osho, you will understand how much struggle these people make to be able to exercise their own thinking. It's not easy. It's not easy, but at the same time, I think no parents will intentionally try to destroy you. They'll teach you whatever they know. You should listen, but at the same time, use your brain. अपना दिमाग चलाओ. ठीक है ना? At the end of the day, unless you use your brain, the problem is today people don't use brain. People simply follow others. Even the so-called scholars, scholars are those who are able to imitate others well. All human activities are imitations. Whoever does the best imitation is called a scholar. Right? So we live by imitation, unfortunately. There is not much originality. So therefore it is important, even Einstein, he said, I'm not able to use my brain more than 6% or 5%. If I'm able to use at least 11, 12% of my brain, I can create all kind of magic in the world. Even Einstein, such a great, scientist, thinker, he said this, which means we don't use our brain. Because we don't have to use the brain. Everybody is saying this, okay, just follow it. And the problem is if you follow everybody, I should not say this, okay. Where does everybody go after death? Heaven or hell? Majority. Right? So if you learn to not just follow majority, but use your brain. Somebody very nicely said, if you follow the majority, there will be road jam, road traffic. If you don't follow the majority, go in a different direction, there is no traffic. It is really something like that. So if you use your brain, like Buddha, he did not follow the majority, he used his own thinking, and he got enlightened. And majority was to follow the same population, very in a different direction. So as much as possible, use your brain. You don't have to revolt against your parents. You don't have to revolt against their teachers. Teachers and parents are not necessarily intentionally trying to destroy you. They are teaching you whatever they know. But then you have to accept their knowledge is also limited. So you have every reason to ask the question and make your choice, but not openly revolting and fighting with them. That doesn't bring us anywhere, right? That's important, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.